Shalom, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, blessings, salutation to you sincere brothers out there pushing the truth across the four corners of earth. All right, and I just want to go in really quick on diligence, man. It's very important for us to remain diligent. A lot of times we're not in the perfect situation, or we're not in the situation that we want, and it's like you get the attitude like, if I can't have it my way, it ain't gonna be anyway. The Lord didn't give me this, or the Lord didn't give me that. Hey, at the end of the day, you gotta work with what you got. You gotta work with what you got. Like, what have we seen of late? Got guys with millions of dollars who they might have had an inkling, or they might have had an understanding of who they were, but they didn't have the full understanding. All right, so that $1 million couldn't grant them that understanding. Right, it's the Lord who granted that understanding, and that's a great gift. This truth is a great gift. For us to be able to read and break down things that were written thousands of years ago that are happening now and that are going to happen, that's not a light matter. It's not light, Akim. It's a great gift, man. We have to cherish it and make sure that we're growing. All right, this is Psalms 125. No. It's a lot. Yep. Ecclesiastes 10:6. It says, folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in low place, in a low place. And that's the case, man. Folly is set in great dignity in this kingdom. We're raised on cartoons. We're raised on, silliness and whatever, you were raised on. Disney or SpongeBob, whoever. So I was never into that shit, but a lot of brothers were. Right? Folly is set in great dignity, and that's one of the things we have to remember, man. Some of that shit, the stuff that we're into, the stuff you take your time to do. Hey, I even got to catch myself with it, man. You be on whatever site, and then you just get to clicking on millions of videos, and now you become unprofitable. And this video is for, to myself, first before anybody, because I want to remain profitable. This at the end, we're not at the, we ain't out of here yet. Still have works to do, still have missions to accomplish. All right, it's not time to be exalted yet. This is the time to stay low and stay rooted and stay diligent. All right, I've seen service upon horses and princes walking in service upon the earth. That's the time that we're at. We're still in servant mode, except now the option is opened up for us to be servants of the Lord. All right, this is let's go straight to the point, man. This is Deuteronomy 17. And we're a nation of kings and priests, right? Set up to be kings and priests. What does it say? Is the glory of the king to search out a matter? All right, and it shall 17:18, and it shall be when he sitteth upon the throne of his kingdom, that he shall write him a copy of this law in a book out of that which is before the priests of the Levites, and it shall be with him, and he shall read therein all the days of his life, that he may learn to fear the Lord his power, to keep all the words of this law and these statutes, to do them. All right, so the king had to actually write out the law to make sure that he understood the law. All right, especially now that we're coming back to the law. Oh, this is in the law. Oh, that's in the law. I speak to certain brothers who are very diligent. Certain of the older brothers of my camp up here in Chicago, and every time you talk to them, and we go into the scriptures, I find myself saying, "Oh, damn! Wait a minute, that's in the scripture." It's like, damn, I need to catch up, man. Now, that's not to say I'm, gonna try to do everything that brother does, but hey, diligence. Right? Give diligence. All right, and it shall be with him I read that verse 19. Verse 20, that his heart be not lifted up above his brethren, and that he turn not aside from the commandment to the right hand or to the left, to the end that he may prolong his days in his kingdom, he and his children in the midst of Israel. All right, what does it say? All, and with the kings, what does it say? All but three. Let me get Sirach 49:4. It says, all except David and Ezekiel and Josiah were defective, for they forsook the law of the Most High. Even the kings of Judah failed. I make sure I read it right. All right, all of these men were defective. Even the kings of Judah failed. Therefore, he gave their power unto others and their glory to a strange nation. And just to comment on that, because the Lord could take that gift away. The Lord can remove that fire from you, man. I've seen brothers who, man, it's like they knew the scriptures back forward. They know this precept, this person, that person. But then, you know, in another department, they might be lacking. And then eventually, you know, the Lord comes and he takes away that gift. And then a new brother comes in, and now that gift is granted to that brother. And now he begins to grow. All right? Hey, the Lord does not need us, man. He said he could give life unto the stones. All right? The Lord doesn't need us. It's up to us to we have to prove. We have to be proven through this fire, using the things that we're given. Now, this is 1 Esdras 8:3. It said, then Esdras went up from Babylon as a scribe, being very ready in the law of Moses that was given by the power of Israel. And the king did him honor, for he found grace in his sight in all his requests. In all his requests. And then verse 7 is the point. For Esdras had very great skill, so that he omitted nothing of the law and commandments of the Lord, but taught all Israel the ordinances and judgments. So he had great skill. I come from the world of scholarship and college and all that, which is all bullshit anyway. But a thing you can take from that is you have to do a lot of testing. You have to do a lot of studying. You have to do a lot of testing. You have to prove what you know. And even though those Edomites cheat, they cheat their ass off, and they pay their way in. All right, but it's a lot of stuff. You have to be studious. It said he knew the whole. It said he omitted nothing of the law. He knew the whole law. That's impressive. All right, hey, Psalms 119, 133. Order my steps in thy word, and let not any iniquity have dominion over me. All right, we want our steps to be ordered, man. We want to make sure that we're on point. We're lining up with what's written. Now, this isn't just about knowing you're an Israelite. That's good, but now what? A lot of people, like I said, we know that they're Israelites who the scriptures say that, man. Many shall say, Lord, Lord, deliver me from the oppression of man, so will I keep thy precepts. Make thy face to shine upon thy servant, and teach me thy statutes. All right, this is Daniel 6:3. It says, then this Daniel was preferred above the presidents and princes, because an excellent spirit was in him, and the king thought to set him over the whole realm. Who was that? Tobias? Who was it? Tobit? He was the purveyor, meaning he was in charge of the king's household, buying and selling to a certain extent. Now, these men had high positions, man. These were not just some common niggas, average, niggerdom. A lot of that stuff, man, has to be cut out, man. The BET shit and the whatever, whatever spell is on you, man. You gotta check that shit and make sure it lines up with the scriptures, man. Whatever it might be, the prison shit, the gang shit, whatever is in you. All right, maybe you might have been working with Edomites, and you got a little bit of their ways, and whatever. And we all come from different backgrounds, man. That's one thing I noticed. Brothers have different humor, man. Some brothers, they like this, they like that. Some brothers like Kevin Hart or whatever. It's an assortment of people, but it's all got to line up with the scriptures, man. We're all in one walk, one body. All right, we all want to be, we want to be high level. There's nothing wrong with that. All right, hey, it says Daniel, the king called him to interpret that dream over all his magicians, soothsayers, numerologists, prognosticators, all these, niggas you see on Sarnetta. That's basically what they are. All right, or Tariq Nasheed or whoever the fuck. These men who, esteem themselves as wise, he called Daniel. All right, Daniel was put over these people. All right, hey, Exodus 35:10, it says, and every wise-hearted among you shall come and make all that the Lord hath commanded. And make all that the Lord hath commanded. Hey, it talks about the priest's garments, man, the ouches of gold, that gold that was sewn in. And this stone and that stone, that stuff has to be carved. It has to be polished correctly. It took real skill to make those priestly garments. It took a lot of skill to make a lot of these things, man. The scriptures talk about the cunning artificer, and we ain't here to just be a bunch of commoners. All right? And education in the scriptures has always been highly sought after. I forget which president said that. I think it's Roosevelt. All right, but fuck Esau. This is Proverbs 22. He ain't learned the scriptures anyway. This is Proverbs 22 and 10 and 29. Seest thou a man diligent in his business? He shall stand before kings. He shall not stand before mean men. Now, that's not to say, which meaning average. That's not to say we don't stand in front of average people. But, hey, this knowledge, this puts you above, which the word there for wise-hearted is synonymous with skill. All right, it's synonymous with skill. Matter of fact, look that up real quick. Close it off on that. Wise. Skillful in technical work. Wise in administration. Shrewd, crafty, cunning. Wily, subtle. To teach subtlety to the simple. Hey, the shit that you fell for, or that tricked you, or that got you off your square when you first came in, that same shit, it shouldn't work years later. It shouldn't be able to fool you years later, or you know what I'm saying? The same little mistakes and things you were saying, you shouldn't, that weren't necessarily correct, that you had to be corrected on. Hey, you might not want to keep, doing the same thing years later. You might want to learn and build and grow from it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we don't want to be spewed out, man. That's what happens when you're lukewarm. You want to be hot for this thing, fervent. Not over the top, not, easily angered, but fervent for the Lord. All right, but Lord willing, edifying, man. Let's continue to give diligence to make our calling and election sure. Shalom.